The former president sat down with SMU students to take their questions about his presidency.
How is the George W. Bush of today different from the George W. Bush before your inauguration?
Well, that's a very good question. No sense of responsibility, and I'm a famous person.
9/11 largely defined your presidency, but before that date, what were you hoping would define your presidency, and were you able to do sufficient work in that area with all the unexpected things that happened?
Well, that's a very good question. You're a lot taller than I thought, and no, it's an interesting question.
In the upcoming decade, what, if any, significant progress in immigration reform do you predict?
Great question. Now, first, we had too many Jews and too many Italians, therefore we should have no immigrant. If you're raised in Texas, you understand what it means.
I wanted to ask you, how did approval ratings affect you during your time in office?
You know, it reflected reality. I mean, I'm unworthy. Well, let's figure out how to make me popular.
Mr. President, do you recommend the presidency to young leaders?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not sure why.
What's the latest history book you've read?
Decision points.
My question for you is, if you were not born into a political family, what would have been your dream job or career path?
I wanted to be a Major League Baseball player until I couldn't hit a ball that didn't go straight. It's just hard for me to do that. And I wanted to explore and see as much of the world as I possibly could. Pakistan, Afghanistan, the United States.
What was your single most greatest challenge being president? And what method or strategy did you use to overcome that?
I was drinking too much. I was falling in love with alcohol. It's not that hard to be irresponsible. And that's just the way life is.
My question is, what do you believe is the most significant issue facing my generation?
Interesting question. The financial crisis. But I really don't worry about it, and my friends, they don't worry about it either.
You mentioned the attacks from Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez, and I was wondering, what do you see U.S. and Venezuelan relations coming to in the future of that country in its entirety?
I can't answer that question. I can't remember the other part of the question. I'm getting a little old.
Let's move on to this gentleman.
And I was wondering where you see our relations with Pakistan going in the future.
Yeah, interesting question. I am I don't know. Thank you all.